Welcome, Queen. Let me say something that may challenge the way you see yourself in conversations. Always waiting for everyone else to speak does not mean you are always thoughtful or respectful. Sometimes it means you are training yourself to be an afterthought. And if you are a capable, confident woman, that matters because what you have to say and share matters. And that's why today I want to share with you around the thought of when listening stops being powerful and listening starts silencing you. At the point that you choose silence in such a way that it's silencing you, then you are yielding your power, and that is not you operating from a place of wisdom. That is you operating from a place that's costing you your voice. So I want you to recognize there's a clear distinction on what listening is and what silencing yourself is. When it comes to listening, listening is a skill, and it is a valuable skill and a needed skill. But silencing yourself, that is a habit, and it is a pattern of behavior that teaches people to not really value what it is you have to say and share, even though they may actually never say that they don't value what you say and share. So the difference is why you are choosing to do what you're doing, not the fact that you are actually doing it, meaning being silent or choosing to speak last. So when it comes to self-silencing, here are some ways you can know if you are participating in self-silencing. So if you are always, and I do mean always, the very last person to speak in the room, it's possible you may be self-silencing. If you are constantly replaying in your mind over and over your thoughts before you say them, it's possible you may be practicing self-silencing. If you constantly find yourself in a place and space where you are internally thinking, I'm not going to say anything unless it's absolutely necessary, then it's possible you are practicing self-silencing. If you find yourself in a place or space where conversations end, but you haven't said or contributed anything to them, and you are happy about it or you feel a sense of relief about it, it's possible again you may be practicing self-silencing, even though you may not be doing these things consciously. And it matters because at that point, when you are practicing self-silencing, what you are allowing to happen is conversations to be shaped without your insights and your value, without your voice being added to them. Your confidence stays internal and it is not shown externally in the room when others are with you. And so people may respect you, but they don't necessarily see you as a go-to person. And that means that over time, your silence, your choosing to speak last all the time, teaches people to not look for you, but to actually overlook you, even though that may not be the message that you want to communicate. So what I am not saying here is that you need to always speak first to show or prove to everyone else in the room or the people that you may be engaging with that you are confident, because confidence does not come from always speaking first or even speaking last. Confidence comes from speaking with intention. So that means that when you speak, you do so with intentionality. And you do so because you recognize and you understand the impact and power of your voice. And That means that you know that you don't need permission to enter conversations, especially when you are already in the room where people are having conversations. Likewise, when you lead well, you recognize and understand that leadership does not take a back seat and just wait for everything to be finished, to be complete, to be said. Leadership steps in and listens and also directs, because it's direction that showcases how powerful your voice can be when you speak with intentionality. So, I have a little homework for you. The next time you are having a conversation with someone, I want you to internally ask yourself, in this moment, am I waiting to speak because I'm choosing to do so with intentionality? Or am I waiting to speak because I am afraid to interrupt? Because I don't want to be seen as too much. Now, if you are waiting to speak because you are afraid, or due to any other reason other than you choosing to wait to speak from a place of intentionality, I invite you, or I challenge you rather, to enter that conversation anyway within the next 10 seconds. Why? Because you have to break the pattern. And in order to break the pattern, you're going to have to do so from a place of being uncomfortable with breaking the pattern. You don't have to say a lot, and you don't have to try to then take the lead of that conversation. Even if you just interrupt that conversation, or I shouldn't say interrupt, add your voice to that conversation with one sentence, that's sufficient. That's a starting point. That's a way for you to show to yourself and to others that your voice matters and that you do have something to say. Because I want you and I need you to remember that your voice is not an afterthought. Your voice is powerful. And while listening is also powerful, listening becomes self-silencing when it costs you your presence. Because conversations are where decisions are shaped, authority is established, and leadership is recognized. And to decide, have authority, or lead, it means you know when, where, and how to use your voice in conversations. As always, I'm Coach Sam, telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours, you can change your life. So go ahead and do something life changing now.